Coming up, it's the Bengals looking to avoid their 7th straight loss to the Ravens. Can Cincinnati prevent another sweep? Find out next on EA Sports.
On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Ravens offense set to take over and led by a man still just in his 4th season in the NFL, the 2019 MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. So a glance here at the key inactives. There's other reasons, but this list, one of the reasons they've been struggling some this year.
And one that they won't make excuses with. But everyone knows that this is the key reason. Without these players, it's made it very difficult for them this season. They've battled, they've scrapped. But without those guys, hard to win games.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Jackson. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver 1, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his #1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against his speed guy on the perimeter.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. There he goes, left side. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower post-game. Evan McPherson now for the PAT. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And he stopped immediately there. Joseph Osai there on the stop. Now it's Jackson. That goes out wide to Murray. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. On 3rd down, Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackled him for just a short gain.
Our first update now comes from Atlanta. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Time to see this Bengals offense here as they get set for their first drive. And under center, of course, is a #1 pick in the 2020 draft now in year #2, Joe Burrow.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
The numbers for Mixon last week, 16 carries, 54 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 10. Burrow. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Burrow looking to pass. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? And turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into 1st downs and hopefully points.
Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll run the option on third and short yardage. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Well, so much for that possession.
Yeah, I think he tried to do a little too much there, partner. He tried to keep it himself. End up getting buried in the backfield, and that brings up fourth down.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd. So now it's 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Now Burrow. Hard throw, incomplete. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. The Ravens ready to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They run the option on 2nd down. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Jackson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum? Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And they go play action now. Burrow. This one hauled in by Sample. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2nd and 8 coming up. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Got a man open. It's Chase. And he is going to have the Bengals 1st down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Play action. It's Burrow. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. Justin Houston, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Burrow's throw into the hands of Sample. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. Jonah Williams, former 1st-round pick, the guilty party. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know? Maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. Play action. It's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. DJ Reader make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
Behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 15. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3, and he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. From the 39, Jackson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Joseph Osai in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball. Here's Sam Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We've got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. That's complete to the tight end Sample. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From their own 40 to the other 40, the gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. A toss left, Mixon. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Here's Burrow. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the 1st.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That could really be demoralizing.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Burrow will throw. And he's got it. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. He'll get it up the middle, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Bengals add on to their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
McPherson now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. Latavius Murray getting set to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Next, they look at the next-gen stats for the Ravens in that first half, and they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Derek Wolfe able to record his 5th sack of the season. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow dumps it off to Mixon. Just a gain of a couple there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 35. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. Going deep here for Watkins. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Third down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. 7 yards to pick up there.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there. That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. .35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Around the NFL, 3rd quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're continuing to rock and roll, and at intermission, maybe sometimes you fear after such a good first half of a letdown, but that wasn't the case.
And what I remember most about being in those situations is exactly what you're talking about. You almost have that sense of satisfaction. You're like, we're doing really well. I remember one time someone saying, winning's fun, but so is playing really well. Why would we want to do otherwise? That was the message, to keep the intensity up, to keep things going, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from this team.
Yeah, it's helped them extend their lead. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now Burrow. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Mixon with a first down carry. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. 2nd and 9. From midfield now, Burrow. And he slings one that's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Play action. Now Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds right at about the 10-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. 6 yards left on second down. Jackson from the shotgun. And this is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. On first down, Murray. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Behind the chain, second and 12. Again, it's Murray. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
To throw is Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. Burrow looking to pass. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. A handoff to Mixon. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Now it's Burrow. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. McPherson's kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. He finds his man, complete. That's Murray. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up, nor practiced it, because on first down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up second and third down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back. But, boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
14-yard line, 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Jackson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Quick.
And Jackson throwing once more. That goes out wide to Murray. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Murray. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Jackson on 1st down. He finds Bateman over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. That is caught, Rashad Bateman. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big connection on that one. 36 yards. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Ravens are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with a touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
It's complete. And he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On first down, Mixon, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
94 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The tackle made by L.J. Ford. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The 2nd down play not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Here's Burrow. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 4th down, out comes the rookie 5th-round pick, Evan McPherson, for the Bengal field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Murray. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw as this play will stand as is. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to drop this one down for Murray. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football. And I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but I
like where we're going with this. Though you say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game.